Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about a game I played kind of recently. I played it a lot when I was younger, never beat it, and then sort of went back to it. Also, if you hear a meow, it's one of our cats down there being loud and annoying. You probably will hear her. At least once, but anyway, if you like this game, I am so sorry. Even though I almost beat it, I could not stand it. And that's the game Dragoneer's Aria for the PSP. This is an older game. Yes, it's for the PSP. But I remember playing it quite a bit when I was younger, and I never beat it because I'm just a chronic unfinisher. Like, I buy more games that I can actually finish, and that really sucks, but I've been making it a point to go back and play either old games or the new games that have come out. I'm really making an effort to beat them, trophies or not. You know, whether I decide to get all the trophies for a game or not, beat them no matter what, right? And I did say that I almost beat it. And really, I didn't. I'll be frank, I didn't beat it. I got to the almost semi-final area. I think I had a few more, and by area, I mean literal just chunk, like this big part of the map. Because I had a few more, if we're talking about big areas, maybe one. I can't remember. For the people who have played the game, you can attest to how far I've gotten. I got to the part where it's towards the very end. It's before you beat the next two visionaries of love and justice, or whatever they're called. And it's where those golems are that are immune to magic. The golems that can cast spells to make themselves immune to magic and physical attacks. And they can repel your attacks. And they always do a crazy amount of damage no matter what armor you have or what level you are. Those guys, I gave up right there. Because I already didn't really care so much about the game. I was honestly playing it to just beat it. I was like, let's just finish out the story, whatever, I don't even care, let's just get this over with. And I was gonna beat it, you know, because I just figured why not. And then that happened, and I could not, like, I already had negative feelings about the game, but then now add on to the fact that the game felt like it was actively just dicking me over. Like, it felt like I was being punished for playing more, and so I just said, fuck it, I'm not doing it. You know, my friend said, if you don't like the game, why are you playing it? That's a great question, because honestly, I wasn't playing this game for views on YouTube or anything. I just wanted to finish it. I never beat games. I wanted to finish a fucking game, even if I wasn't enjoying it as much, but I couldn't force myself after that. Now, before I get started on talking about every reason why I really didn't like this game, let me talk about what I did like about the game. The art. Not the animation art style in the game itself, but the art of this box and, like, the back of it. Now listen, okay? Listen. You're young, right? You're young. The PSP came out. Maybe you're not young. But you see art like this, right? It's got a cool dragon with holding like an orb or something. And the box art is like this, and you got all these nice looking characters and stuff. And I really liked the way everything looked. I thought the art was like really pretty. And of course, art in like a box like this and everything doesn't necessarily equal art in a game. Of course, I understand that. But it makes an appealing case, right? It makes you think, oh man, that looks really nice and whatever. And oh, look, interactive guard, battle system, dragon orbs. Like, you're like, oh, cool, it's cool, I can't wait. No. And the art, like, this art is probably the only thing I liked about the game. And we'll get to it. So two things that are kind of just nitpicky complaints that I'll start out with is, number one, I didn't really care for the English voice acting dialogue in it. I heard it once or twice when I started playing. I couldn't really stand the way it just sounded. I don't know if it was the actual performances or what it was, but I really just didn't like it at all, and so I just lowered the volume every single time. I just couldn't do it. And the second complaint is the plot. I think the plot is completely kind of dumb and average. And now let me put this out there and say that just because a plot is average does not mean it's bad. The reason why I didn't like this plot is because of, here's the thing, okay? Valen, believe his name is, you're a dragoon. Dragoons are, I guess, a different race of people. I initially thought they were a class or something, but they're like a different race of people that need to have the duty of guarding the dragon. Well, you think there's like some sort of issue, you go to the fire dragon, turns out one of the dragoons is turned evil and is killing them. Now, there's also a thing with Nidhogg, the like darkness evil dragon, and he comes out after being, or he wasn't sealed, but he wasn't like around. Actually cannot remember how he was like, I think he was sealed by a random human or something like that who gave up his life at the time, and then somehow the seal has come undone, and now he's back, and Lucian, who is a Dragoon, is now killing dragons because my understanding is he encountered Nidhogg, and that turned him evil, like made him crazy, turned him evil, and so now he's killing dragons, and so you stop him. And then you find out Nikita, who is also a Dragoon, is going around killing dragons, and you're like, why? Although she does have a, like, I didn't get to it in the game because I stopped playing like right before it's explained, but I looked it up because I'm an asshole. She does have like a personal reason for it, and then it's like, okay. And then later on, Langley, who's like one of your bros, he's just like, wait a minute, the great spirits are saying that that Dragoons were a mistake, but pretty much he's so proud of being a Dragoon to find out that the great spirits, the great spirits or whatever, consider Dragoons their biggest mistake, that they're supposed to be a failure of a creation because they used to kill dragons, good or evil or whatever. He goes fucking nutso and becomes just evil again. Like, he's like, well, now we gotta prove to everybody that Dragoons are like the dominant race, right? And I was like, what is it? The whole story is people who aren't supposed to be killing dragons are now killing dragons. And also there's an evil dragon that's also killing dragons and trying to like take over the world or something. And we just gotta stop them. You get characters like Mary, who, she's a pirate of a ship. You don't see that until later, much later in the game. And then it's just kind of like, okay, no problem. You can do whatever you want, Mary. You have the elf character that seemingly does nothing, like, and the characters don't really even feel like they mesh well together half the time. It's just that they're all there for like a reason or whatever. There have been 1, 2, maybe 3 cutscenes that had entertaining dialogue, and other than that, it was like, whatever. They're just really not likable, like Yuffie or Yuf or whatever. I think it's like E-U-P-H-E, something like that. She's in love with Valen because he's like she's her prince knight guy. Alright, whatever. Valen's just like, I am a Dragoon and need to take care of the dragons. That's Valen's whole personality. Also, he's like loaded. You find out he's very rich. Ruslan is his name, I think, an elf. He's just a dickish elf. He doesn't get along with people. Whatever elf. Although it seemed like he was pretty on good terms with the Earth Dragon, but still. And then Mary's like a pirate, and it pretty much seems like she's a pirate almost in name only, because we don't see anything about her being a pirate. If anything happens with her being a pirate, then let me know. I think at some point, maybe you get a ship? I don't know. I must have stopped playing before any of that happened, but I have no fucking memory of that at all, if that did happen beforehand. So, you know. Another negative, some of the bosses in battles are completely bullshit. The level up system in this, essentially, is that you have to get 500 experience to level up. But the thing is, the monsters, depending on what level you are, don't give out the same experience. So, let's say Valen and Yuffie, I'll call her Yuffie. I honestly, since I played with the dialogue off, the volume off most of the time, I might be saying these names wrong, but let's just, Yuffie, whatever. Yuffie. Let's say they're level 1, and you fight a monster, and it gives you 250 experience points. Well, you fight it twice, you go to level 2. Maybe now that you're level 2, that monster only gives you 200 experience points. And then once you hit like level 5, 6, 7, it's only giving you 50, right? So, or like 16, or something crazy like that. It's supposed to be like, instead of grinding to a certain level and then, you know, you just need more experience to gain a level, it's more like you get less experience as you fight, as you gain levels. And that's really fucking annoying when you have characters like Mary and Ruslan joining later, and they're a lower level, but I think whatever the highest level is in your party dictates how much experience you get. So, if Mary and then Ruslan join at level 1 fighting that same monster instead of monsters, because they come in either 1 to 4 monsters per battle, instead of getting 250 experience, if Yuffie and Valen are only getting 50, they'll only get 50. And that's really garbage when you're grinding up, because they are weaker than the rest of them, because they'll join later than the rest of them. Than the other 2, I should say. You only have 4 party members. So that's really shitty, right? But I mean, specifically the boss battles and certain fights are just very unfair. Early on in the game, I really struggled fighting because it can be like, oh, the monsters just do like crazy amounts of damage to you if you don't or aren't equipped properly. But you can't just go and get new equipment because equipment has level requirements. You know, the first set of equipment you have to be level 10. For equip like armor and weapons, you need to be level 10. Then 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And as you run along through certain areas, you might find like a glowing hole or something that's has a little battle in it that you can get a different weapon, or maybe you just find it or whatever. But generally speaking, you're going to be using those weapons you buy that are 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever. And it's just super annoying because I really struggled in the beginning. After every 1 or 2 battles, I had to save because I might have gotten my ass kicked by a random encounter by maybe 1 or 2 monsters. Before I fought, like, the first boss of the game, I was, like, level 20. Like, literally level 18. In this game, I was level 80 and not at the final boss yet. Are you fucking kidding me? It's like... it'll be like they can paralyze you and turn you to stone and confuse you and then use a lot of great magic and then do all this shit, and it's like, really, it's like, what the fuck? And you can't grind up because, and you know, I understand if you say, well, it's supposed to be difficult, and I get it, but you know what the issue then is? You can't heal either, because when you use magic, you have an energy bar and it goes up to 1,000 about, and when you heal or use any ability, like any ability at all minus attacking and like attacking, defending, like items, you use up that energy. It's a shared energy bar, so it's for all 4 of your characters. So if Valen wants to use a special dragon orb move, that's going to be 1 bar. If you want to heal a lot of HP and you have, depending on what level it is, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many bars, you know, because depends on what level amount of HP you want to heal. Are you going to use a special ability that a character has, like cleanse? That might be 2 bars. And so instead of it being like everyone's got their own set of magic and you gotta like really look out for that, instead it's like, well, you better have a fuck ton of energy healing items because you're gonna be going through it like this, especially if you end up needing a lot of healing by like Mary and Yuffie. Oh, but then they're just gonna petrify all your characters and there's almost no way you can really stop it. You know, whatever, it's no big deal. You just gotta like hope that you don't get completely fucked. You gotta hope they don't randomly heal all their, like, a good chunk of their HP. You know, it was so fucking ridiculous, but I got through it mostly. But to reach the point, I was fighting the visions of love and justice, and I just couldn't do that to myself. I couldn't put myself through another aggravating fight like that. That's why I stopped. Guarding is also very annoying. It says interactive guarding system. What that means is when you hit guard, anytime anything attacks you when you're guarding, these like different like little ticks pop up. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like they pop up like that. And some of them are like, I don't remember, I think they're like goldish yellow or something like that. And then it goes around like in a wheel and like this, and you have to hit the different colored little ticks because those are essentially like your guard points. And if you miss, if you hit one and then you miss the other, you have to start over. There's a time limit, and you know, the more you hit, the better you guard. So if you're just shit at it, or you don't want to accidentally just fuck it completely up, if you're like me, you go for a handful and then you just stop, because it's either get hit for a little bit or completely just fuck it up continuously and just get hit for like almost full damage, you know, whatever. And speaking of the battling, most of my complaints of course are with the battling. Speaking of the battling, it goes on forever. There's like, oh, I just hit my little notepad over here. It's like there's a delay or something when you battle every time you battle. Takes so fucking long for you to attack everybody, for them to attack you. Next turn, I used to sit down, put on an episode of a show and just hit buttons occasionally because the battles ended up taking so long that I just, while I was grinding, I might as well just go ahead and put on a show because it was gonna take for fucking ever to get to any sort of decent level, legitimately. It's just so annoying, you know? It can feel like your movement is extremely slow. It can feel like, it honestly feels like it takes forever to get to point A to point B. If you want to run for a little while and use Valen's field skill, that takes up energy too. All their field skills take up energy, and some people are gonna really like this game, and that's totally fine. It's just, I have never played so much of a game I did not enjoy because I thought my younger self kind of enjoyed it. And I'm like, oh, It's probably how long it takes for everything to load and how slow everything is. Because the PSP, at least for me, has shitty shit loading times. I'm pretty sure it's just the PSP and not just these fucking games. Like the PSP, the PSP games, but were terrible loading time. And so with slow game, with a slow battle system, with slow loading times, with a very average plot, with villains that are not compelling or make any sense to me, with characters that I don't even like, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry. And you can complain that I had the music off most of the time, so I didn't get to hear the soundtrack, if you like the soundtrack, or if you did like the voice acting, or if you like the voice acting in, I don't know if there was a Japanese mode, but if there, like a Japanese voice acting mode, but if there was, if you like that, then I don't know. That's the way I played it, because I actually just did not like parts of it, and I didn't go in disliking it. I did not. I came in and I got to Mary. I never got as far as I did this time, but I got to Mary and I remember thinking, oh, I already got my third party member? Okay, that's cool. I wonder, and then I got like Ruslan and I did a bunch of stuff and I was like, well, okay, I wonder how far I am. And then I check it out and I'm like, what's this about people being level 90 when they beat the game? Excuse me, what's happening? And I'm not saying that games should be shorter. I'm not necessarily saying games, you're gonna be like, oh, Harley, you could just get good at it because, maybe you gotta learn the system better. And you might be right. But I just still really couldn't stand this game. And I'm really upset because I really wanted to like it because younger me bought this and younger me really liked it. And then I just was disappointed. As an adult. I wish I had been disappointed when I was younger so I wouldn't have wasted my adult self's time when I could have been playing any of the other PSP games that I'm probably going to be disappointed in because I'm going back and playing older games. So, yeah. Good job. Past me. Could have done better on this. But anyway, ultimately, that's all I really have to say about it. If I had to score it, it'd be a fucking 1. But, I'm not gonna score it because it doesn't matter. The score doesn't matter. But seriously, it would be a 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10, 1 out of anything that exists, any sort of scale. Did not like, do not recommend. I'm sorry. I just really didn't like it. My B. But anyway, let me know what you thought of Dragoneer's Aria in the comments below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.